bench guy 09. Friends in the group chat, talking like kings. I'm stuck in the basement, breaking my screen. Delete the app before it breaks me first. Every trade I tap just makes it worse. I swear I'm done. I swear I'm gonna snap if one more player tags his calf.
Yes, we'll delete the app. Thank you, Dan, for our lovely intro song, by the way. I must thank him for that. Thank you for joining NRL Off the Bench Supercoach podcast. You're here with Brad, the Beast, the SC Beast, Rossco, and Timmy O. Wow, what a week that was. Chaos came early to NRL Supercoach this week. Normally, this is the kind of chaos we expect around Origin time. However, it came early, and most teams were struggling to field 18 players, 19 players. I think I had 19 or 20 in the end, but I know a lot of the people I was versing in head-to-head comps were scraping the barrel and playing all sorts of different players that, of course, they never intended to play. How are you there, Rossco?
Yeah, good evening, everybody. Yeah, no, interesting round. Pretty happy, actually, to be honest. I got a 13.43. Avoided most of the carnage, so to speak. Obviously, Setu 2 was ruled out prior to kickoff, which wasn't ideal, but managed to get Thomas Flegler's 50 as an AE, so I'm not going to complain about that. Few subpar scores there. Macassini for about 30-odd, Sanders with about 30-odd. Couple of others there that pretty much sort of the standout for me was from the Titans, Brad. You own him as well. Arama Howe with 116. Did not see that coming at all. And, massive game that one for him, and very happy to be an owner of him. So for my ranking, I'm up to 8786 now, which is not bad. I've moved up 51,000 spots in 3 weeks. So it just proves by having the right team, choosing the right captains, making the right moves that anything's possible, really. You know, just don't give up. That's big. To move up 51,000 spots in 3 rounds is just crazy. So as we've just lost Tim, must be internet issues again. But yeah, that was me. All in all, pretty happy with the round, Brad, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I got 12.53, as we can see there on the screen. I'm not unhappy with that. I would have gone a lot better off if I hadn't have looped, believe it or not. I went and chose to do a loop, thinking the score I had would be better than what I might get. But unfortunately, what I might have got ended up being fractionally better. But what it actually meant is that poor old, what's his name, Daniel Atkinson, came into my team and absolutely stunk it up as an AE for me. So, anyway, that's the breaks. I'm not completely unhappy, as I said, considering the carnage that I did see before a lot of teams. I've got to say, looking at all my head-to-head results and all the leagues I'm in, a lot of the scores were fairly reasonably close. There wasn't a lot of differential. There were some players in teams in around the 1100s, but not many more above the 1300s, 1350, I think. A very, very good score. So if you got in the 1200s, folks, you did really, really well, really. And like Rossco, I've come up about 50,000 ranking points in the last 3 weeks. No red arrows yet.
Just one more shout, and another shout out to another Uber pod of mine that I know is going to get highly traded in this week because it's probably the last week to bring him in. That's one Finifaki from the Dolphins, just absolutely killing it at the moment. Like 99 points in pretty much pure base on the weekend, couple of tackle busts, couple of line breaks. Could have been better if Walsh hadn't have made that tackle on him at the end. But, he was a great pickup for me 2 weeks ago, and he's doing an amazing job. So there's some players there going really well, but then some other players are just stinking it up. These centre wing cheapies are going to make it very hard to move these guys on soon because, guys like Macassini, Setu 2, if he gets his spot back, Chester, does he get his spot back? That Fayamani from the Titans, he's stinking it up. there too. So these guys are going to be hard to move on. Going to need a war chest to get rid of them. But, yeah, really hoping that Tom Chester comes back into that team because centre wing's looking a bit depleted at the moment, and I don't really want to be playing Fayamani again, to be honest with you, for the Titans. So, yeah, but other than that, look, yeah, it's going to be an interesting round again, I reckon. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm like you and just about everybody else. My centres are a bit more stacked than most people's, but I certainly have to find room for one cheapie. So one cheapie has to play out of a whole bunch of the lot that I have. But there's a lot of people that are having to play two cheapies. So you're right about the centres being a bit of a dog's breakfast at the moment. And if you got sort of the wrong one, of course, we all want Sasagi, but we're going to talk about him when we get to that game. All right, so the first game of the week, we'll quickly see if we can get through these not too long-winded.
Do we want to go through the games first, or should we just quickly run through the injuries and suspensions first?
Oh, yeah, sorry, the injuries, like we normally do, injuries and suspensions. Sorry, Rod.
I think Tim's in the weight room as well, if you want to just check that.
No, he's not.
No, he said he was, so it must have cut out again. All right, so injuries. What we have up to date now, there's just been some mail come through that Mitch Barnett has got a broken hand apparently as well. So that's obviously massive news for Jackson Ford. I mean, he was already playing decent minutes as it was, but that's massive news for him if depending on how long he's going to be out for. Grant Anderson for the Broncos, he's out 10 to 12 weeks with his knee injury. Ongi's gone for 8 weeks as well from that tackle by Mitch Kenny. Matt Dory's done his ACL. He's out for the season. Kyle Flanagan will be out, obviously, this week with Category 1 concussion, so he'll miss the game. Payne Haas, we don't have any news on him. I think it sounds like, from what the people I've spoken to, Broncos supporters, it's going to be a week-to-week thing. And then you've got Jack Howarth and Nick Meany both to be confirmed as well with what's happening with them. Nick Meany, I would say, is probably a chance to play this weekend. Not so sure on Jack Howarth. I don't know how bad his injury was. And then for the suspended, we just got Mitch Kenny 1 week and Jason Saab 1 week as well.
Oh, very good, very good. Good evening to Mike. Good evening to Biggest Dickus. There's a few others floating around. Good evening to all those that are joining us. Thank you very much. All right.
You're the Dargans.
The old Dargans.
He asked. He said in the chat, he said in the post, can you not bring it up? Oh, sorry, Mike, but he said don't talk about the Tigers and don't talk about the Dragons.
Well, sorry, Mike, but we're going to have to talk about them because there's a few things there we need to consider about the Dragons, although they are going to look a bit better in this coming week because get a few troops back. All right, the first game of the week was Manly versus the Roosters at home. The Roosters controlled the match nearly from about the 5th minute. Manly scored in the 4th minute, but that was the last time they got any really good quality ball. 33-16 was the final score. Cooler, the Koala Bear, he looks fantastic. 94 points from him. Tommy Trbojevic doing what Tom does, 76 points, still earning people a bit of money if you want to get on him. The draw does ease up very shortly. It sort of gets a little bit better. If you want to get on, this will be the last week really to get on him before he starts to hit that ceiling. An interesting one there to keep a big watch on, Kobe Hetherington. I'd never thought I'd say that ever. But his minutes were quite good and his PPM is quite good for 70 points. Over at forget the rest of Manly, even Paseka, 44, stunk. He's going to earn a little bit of money, but that's about it. But yeah, Okoladu, 61, and he only had he had 7 runs, I think, for the whole first 50 minutes of the game. So he's lucky to get to 61 points. For the Roosters, they do have to bye this week, so they're nearly completely irrelevant. Rob Toyer, 122. Mark Alphabet, 108. Connor Watson pulled one out of his backside for 85. That's a very rare one for him. Wong, 77. Quite interestingly, Rossco, clearly they are going to the right side where DCE lurks, and DCE is doing to Wong exactly what he did to Okolatu for all those years that he was feeding Okolatu the great balls. Wong is now getting those balls. DCE 76. Now, if we compare those to the other two, well, one of them, of course, is Sam Walker. Where's he? 42. And the other one that is relevant there, of course, is Crichton on 54. The quality ball going to the left side where Walker is often lurking just is not there, Ross.
No, I think they seem to be, like you said, going a lot more to that right side, which is obviously, if I'm an Angus owner, which I'm not, and I didn't start with him, and thank goodness I didn't, I'd be not getting off him as quick as I can. So, yeah, I'd certainly be jumping ship off him for sure, and maybe looking to move him on to Sasagi or even to, or maybe not to Wong because they're on a bye this week, but you could even go a pod play on old mate Alex Twell as well. So there's some options there, but I'd certainly be jumping ship off him. I think Tim said he's waiting to be let in again. Can you see him there?
No, he's not here.
No. He says he's backstage or something.
I don't know where he is. He's not here.
Okay.
I'm just having a look, folks, to see if I can. No, there's no one there. Definitely not. Sorry, folks. Not real good podcasting there.
Sorry about that.
All right. I'm sorry about that one too. Interruptions all around. So, do you want to do the second game there, Ross?
Second game of the round. The Mighty Tigers got the big win in New Zealand, winning 32-14. Very unexpected result, this one. Massive win for the Tigers, especially in New Zealand without Luai as well. For the Warriors, Tanner Boyd just plugging along nicely with an 84. Kotstock, who started in the centres with an 83. Jacob Laban got a try, got a 74, and Tua Picky with 60. Some good scores here. Adam Dewey, for those who started with him, well done. Alex Trial with a 97. KPP, another great score with a 90. Buller with an 88 and Taruva 82. So I think this kind of have a bit of conversation around this one, Brad. I think Dewey's probably pretty relevant at the moment. Wouldn't you agree? He's putting up some decent scores.
Oh, absolutely he is. It's quite funny how the week before he went down, the guy's got to be made of tissue paper or something. I swear to God. Yeah. I can't look. I think fantastic if you've jumped on. I can't knock anyone for doing it. For me, I'm not going to do it because I just can't trust him. Yeah, he's the Tom Travojevic for me of another team. He just he'll go down at some point. Someone will hit. In fact, he went down during this game. Did you see that? He went down. And we thought, oh, shit, he's gone down. He started hobbling, and then all of a sudden he was able to move, and he was quite okay again. Here he comes back again.
I think he went off with like 3 minutes to go.
All right, okay.
Something like that.
Evening, Tim.
But obviously, if you're going to do it, this is a week with a break even of 33. He's got 115, 64, and 112. They come up against Parramatta this week, who've been pretty average, to be honest with you, and then Newcastle. So it's not a bad couple of games for them.
No, the draw is quite reasonable. So, yes, this is the time to do it. My halfbacks, as we'll find out later, are absolutely chock-a-block full. I can't afford to get him in.
Yep. Just another one to probably keep an eye on. Just another one to keep an eye on probably too is Tyrrell May's dropping nicely in price too, but not getting the minutes. So unfortunately, though, for him, he got a 60, but he's only playing around about 55 to 60 minutes at the moment. Another massive break even, so he's going to drop a ton of cash again as well.
And you know what, Ross? I think it's working for the team, not flogging him for 80 minutes.
They don't have to because we've got so much depth in our forward pack. Look at the way 12's going and the others. They don't need to. Royce Hunt's coming on, playing a 20-minute stint and just doing an amazing job. Like the pack's doing their job. They don't need to burn the shit out of him.
No, they
playing.
Hey, a real interesting one, a pod, which you can almost still jump on just. But Luke Lilly, man, I mean, I wish I would have jumped on him rather than some of these other ones like Macassini. I should have gone Luke Lilly instead. He puts out a 60 this week. He's only got a break even of 12. How do you find him being a Tigers fan?
They seem to be going that side a lot, don't they, really? I mean, he's getting a lot of touches of the ball, which is not great because Macassini's just not seeing the ball that we expect him to see. And I did say at the start of the season when Macassini was named at centres that he won't be as relevant for Supercoach than what he would on the wing because he's just not getting those attacking stats really either. I don't mind it. I mean, it's an awkward price at $335K. But if you can somehow go from Fayamani from the Titans to him, yeah, I don't mind it. I don't mind it, to be honest with you. But yeah, look, just depends on who you're selling to bring him in, Brad. That's the thing.
Yeah, absolutely. No, absolutely. Now, welcome back, Tim. I can see there Mike's welcomed you back with a comment. He said you were needed a makeup break there, did you?
Well, no idea, mate. It's my internet here. It doesn't seem to matter how many times I ring Telstra and tell them it's crap. They keep telling me there's nothing wrong with my internet. I don't know what planet they're on, but they can come here, sit here and podcast. So, yeah, anyway, we'll wait and see. Hopefully I stay on board, boys. I'm back a few steps. Holly, a rubbish round for me, and it's been a rubbish season so far. Of course, Joey, straight into it.
Can you blame him?
He says this Timmy looking fresh after a Broncos win. Too bad it's only for 1 week up of the mighty Titans. So Titans, of course, is who Broncos take on next. Now, Timmy, you want to get organised so you can take us through how your Broncos went? I do believe you're at the game. So while
boys, was a good the Broncos. Yeah, geez.
So you're going to run us through the game, mate?
That's if his internet lasts.
Oh, it's looking pretty dodgy. Can you hear me, Tim? No, this is not looking good. All right, I'll quickly start off the Broncos versus the old Dolphins. I actually really enjoyed this match. I found it to be quite entertaining at times. Katoni Stagg, I think Al Fisher, here we actually sending me text messages and giving it to me because I always used to bag out Katoni and I could never believe that he brought him in. And I think he still has a love affair with him. 98, Reece Walsh, 95 points. Every time I turn around, he seems to have gone up or down a point or two for somebody that for Supercoach that doesn't have updates anymore. He certainly updated and downdated a lot. Pat Carrigan, love him, 76 points. I think he was a very good pickup last week for those that did it. A-Ray, 71. Really, that's about the end of it. Corey Jensen has been interesting, 62 points. It looks consistent what he's getting. If you jumped on him last week, was your week to jump on him. Very well done there too.
I reckon just quickly, him and Willison are good pickups if you're looking for some forwards in your drafts. Not for classic, but for drafts, definitely.
Yeah, if you're stuck. Look, Corey Jensen still has a break even of 25, so there's not a problem being able to jump on him still. He's 438K, so he is cheap enough, but it depends who you're going to sell to get, or if you're going up to him from a real cheap, it hasn't done you any good. Not a bad move, but yeah, I'm not sure who else you can sell there. Asako, he's off to Melbourne. He's flying. He's running away. 111 points there. Now, I can't. Finifuaki, 99 points. I know you own him, Rossco. 29 is his break even this week, so I reckon he's got about 1 more week till you can start considering being able to sell him.
He's going to be a season keeper. I'm not selling him. No way in the world. He's staying in my team. Oh, there goes Tim again.
Yeah,
He's
no,
gone.
he's whatever he's doing there. It's shocking. Timmy, sorry about that, folks. Timmy is obviously having a bit of a hard time there, getting on. So, what was that, Ross?
I just talking about Timmy. That's all. But yeah, keep going.
Avarillo, as he does, pulls out a big one about every third game, 93. Herbie Farnworth, 82. Quite acceptable for those people that own him, and quite an acceptable score for those that don't own him, because we know he can go really high, and I'm fearful of that every week being a non-owner. Flegler down at 50 points. Probably just got past his break even, I think, this week. Has a break even now of 40. And he's still only 353. So, God, he's been disappointing. Not really making the kind of money we were hoping for there.
He only played. Well, don't forget he didn't play. And he only played like 36 minutes this week. Like 50 points in 32 bad, to be honest with you. Obviously not doing the job we were hoping for. That's for sure. But that's a decent PPM. Pretty much all in base as well. It'll do for now. Like obviously I won't be hanging on to him for too much longer if I can get the cash to get him up to another gun. But at this stage, I'm just happy to hang on to him. And as I said, I just got lucky with set of 2 out that I got him as an AE of 50. So, yeah. While we're on this game, Brad, let's just quickly talk about Mike McGaw's question. Payne Haas, is he a sell? Is the question. I mean, you and I had a bit of a chat off air before we came on to record. He's missed 1 week already. It sounds like it's going to be, talking to some Broncos fans, it's going to be a week-to-week thing, like we said. What's your thoughts? I'm actually contemplating holding. Like I don't want to. It's a lot of cash to sit on the bench, but I've got so much depth that I don't need to sell him. Like it's not like last week's carnage where everyone should have enough front row forwards this week back. You're going to have Couchman back. You're going to have Mooney back as well. Like you should be pretty well set up there, So I think I'm just going to hang on to him, to be honest, unless there's some news that comes out tomorrow that he's going to be out for more than 2 weeks. So I think I'm just going to be happy to hold.
My thoughts are, if he doesn't get named this week and you sold him last week, congratulations.
Yeah.
Looks like you probably did the right move. If you're like me and you held, and like you, I think you've just stuck now. You've got to hold firm. My projected score this week is silly, so that's telling me I've got more than enough depth to cover this particular player. Save yourself a trade, because you're going to want him at some point. And look, if he's out too much further, you don't want to be buying him back and then selling him again just before State of Origin. So you got to remember, State of Origin around 9, 10, 11, round about there, you'd be looking at selling him. So, yeah, I'm not sure it's worth 2 or 3 trades to go sell him now, then buy him back, and then sell him again. So maybe just hold. Yeah,
I think they've learnt from their mistake from this injury last time when they brought him back after 1 game, right? And then he ended up for another 3 weeks, right? So I don't think, given the draw that they've got, I just don't think that they're going to risk him. I think he'll miss another game or 2, and I'm okay with that, having holding him at the moment. I just don't see the value in selling him. Like, who do you go to? I mean, there really isn't anyone else in that front row that's screaming out to me to sell to. Like, it was like last week, I was nearly going to sell him. And I didn't like the Jackson Ford trade. Terrell May's not doing much, and all the other decent front rowers were on the buy. So I can't really justify doing it now. The only person I probably would trade him out to if I did do it would probably be Colin Matangi, right? But even then, he's only dishing out 60 to 70 scores as well. So is that worth it? I don't know. But yeah, look, as I said, I'm just going to hold him, I think, to be honest with you. Unless we get some other news, as I said, I think he's just going to stay in my team and sit on that bench, warming it for a couple of weeks, maybe a week, maybe 2. I don't know.
No. Good day there to Paul. Cheers, man, for popping in. Paul is a long-time Supercoach tragic. He loves his Supercoach. He said he sold Haas, but there's enough stock now. It's okay, as good as Haas is. So he's saying that you almost, okay, he sold him, but there's more than enough good replacements out there. And he's certainly you got a point there. And like I said, if you sold him last week and he's out this week, you've done the right thing. If he comes back this week, yeah, it might have been questionable, but you're happy with it. And I think you just got to live with those decisions. You've done well there. Stick with it. All right. So moving along, the next game, the Bulldogs and the Knights there, Ross.
Yep, another upset. This was another upset for the weekend. Obviously, Bulldogs 16, Newcastle 24. For the Doggies, Matt Burton got a double with 102, Carraz 86, Tuala 79, Galvin 74.
Oh, just slow down a bit there, Ross, and now we're losing you a bit. Oh, my goodness. There must be some gremlins out there in the internet world at the moment. All right, so just taking over while Ross catches up there. We have Max King, 55. Jacob Preston, a really disappointing 43 if you're an owner. Connor Tracy coming in with 39 just shows you how fickle Supercoach can be. I think last week you got 110 or something, and this week down to a 39, so quite poor. Dom Young, he started the year at that 500K. He's shooting up the price right now. He's got he got 108. He's got a BE of 49, so very achievable. He's now worth 603. Still a possibility of not a bad buy, mind you. We do Dylan Lucas, 86. Not bad. Not a bad evening out for him. McEwen, very interestingly, 77. He's on the same side of Dom Young, so he really benefited from last pass as they cut out Dane Gagai and the last pass to go sailing out to Dom Young and out away he would go. So that's why Jermaine McEwen there really benefited from that. One I will point out to you, if you haven't caught up with or seen any of the highlights of the day, what's his name? I think it's Hamish Graham. Yeah, no, Harrison Graham. Got to get his name right. Reasonably bottom dollar, Harrison Graham. If you didn't watch it, go check out some of the highlights of his very limited. I think it was something like 27 minutes on the field or something crazy like that for a massive 60 points. The Knights might have just found themselves a hooker, and wouldn't that be good? They would love that, to have a hooker back in amongst their ranks. All right, we've got Rossco. We've got you.
Everyone's having internet issues, except for you.
I don't know what's going on there with the internet. It's crazy.
I don't know either. Got no idea. Where are we at with this game? Have you been through the players?
I just finished off Newcastle, really. I just discussed about young Harrison Graham.
Yep.
64 points in about 27 minutes. So absolutely outstanding.
Yeah.
Did you manage to catch any of the highlights, Ross?
No, I didn't get to see this game. I didn't get to see any of the Saturday games because I was at a wedding, so I haven't really had a chance to catch up on any of the games yet. So, but yeah, I saw the score and I'm like, oh, geez, that's decent. It's definitely one to maybe have a look at for your waiver drafts if you're looking for a hooker this week. I know I'm in a couple of my drafts because I've got Reece Robson and obviously, with the Roosters being on a bye. So, yeah, definitely one maybe worth looking at, especially if Crossland's out this week as well with that broken nose.
Well, I'll tell you what, it wasn't. I don't know if you've seen the vision of that, and some of our listeners might have seen the vision of that one.
Oh,
That's going to be one of the funniest injuries you'll see this year.
Oh, mate,
smashed between the asses of two big fellas, and his head's right in the middle of these two asses. They go up, and yeah, he gets a broken nose out of it. Oh, I don't know how that happened, but
yeah.
Anyway, unlucky there. Look, this young kid can play hooker. Crossland. He's a made-up hooker. Really, Knights keep investing in the future of the club.
Well, Harrison Graham, he came from the Dolphins, I'm pretty sure, didn't he? I'm sure, because he obviously wasn't getting a run up there. I'm sure he came from the Dolphins He was up
somewhere. It was Titans
Yeah.
or Titans or the Dolphins. Yes.
Yeah. Just quickly before we go on this game, another one to keep an eye on to after a pretty low score is Jacob Preston as well. He had a break. He's got a break of even of 100. And he's going to drop a heap of cash as well, most likely. So he's definitely another one to keep an eye on once he drops in some price as well. And also Fletcher Sharp as well is another one to keep an eye on too for that 5/8 position as well, I reckon, Brad.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, both of them are definite sells, or you wouldn't be holding Fletcher Sharp. But certainly Jacob Preston is, and I did say that when I went over his 43 points that he scored, that he's a definite worry. I'd be moving on to maybe selling him, moving on to Sasagi and banking the cash and investing it somewhere else.
Yeah, 43 in 80 minutes is a bit of a concern, isn't it, really?
Mike McGaw said he believes that Harrison Graham was the first Dolphins signing when the Dolphins kicked off.
Yeah, okay, well, you go.
I'll tell you what, the kid can play. He was mighty impressive. All right, do you want to give another crack at it this time with the Panthers?
Yeah, no worries. The old battle of the West, Panthers absolutely flogging Parramatta 48 points to 20. Here's some massive scores here for the Panthers too. Jenkins 122, Cleary 117, Casey McLean 112, IPAP with 102, and Isaiah Yeo with 76 in about 43 minutes. They took him off early to give him an early shower. Brian Kelly 86, Russell 82, Katoga 77, and Simonson 75. Shout out to Pezzett for putting out a 52 as well to make us a bit more cash in that 5/8 position. But yeah, this was just a total domination from the Panthers this game. I got to see a little bit of this game prior to the reception for the wedding starting, but yeah, they just completely dominated this one, Brad.
Yeah, no, they did, and they put the queue in the rack really midway through the second half. Yo's minutes were desperately managed there, and of course he never actually returned to the field once they gave him a rest. I see a lot of people. He's one of the most sold players this week on the back of that.
Why?
Yeah, if what we've seen this year, you don't sell a gun.
No.
And the guy is a gun. He's coming up against a very defensive team in Melbourne this week. So you would think he's not going to have managed minutes. I would highly doubt this week. So I'd be holding. I'd be definitely.
I've got no intentions on selling him anytime soon at all, to be honest with you. No way. No chance.
Look, he's an easy 60 to 80 points every single week. So there's not many players that consistently will do that for you. The other one that, of course, is a possibility of a trade-in is Nathan Cleary, 834. Yes, it is expensive. 84 break even, which means he's about hit his ceiling there. So,
yeah.
Excuse me. Right, there's a drink. Yeah, so Cleary would be one that should be highly traded in this week, which I think it is.
Jenkins is another one, Brad, getting very expensive too, but he's still got a negative break even. So while he still scores those tries, if you can get to him, wow, like I don't mind like a Kale Hero to him trade or something if you can get it for 100K or whatever it is. I mean, he's certainly looking goods at the moment, isn't he, Jenkins?
How would you be being poor old Brian Toto?
Oh, yeah. Well, did he get 21 points? I don't think he even saw the ball, did he?
He didn't really see much ball at all.
No.
Alamotti got a try, and Alamotti's inside of Yo on the inside of Toe. But Alamotti he's probably one of the worst non-passers in the game, so he's not going to pass it that often.
Yeah. I think he's a sell if you own him. Get rid of him and maybe go to Sasagi or someone else, I reckon.
Yeah, I've got water tonight there, Mikey. I know I was a bit. I think that frog in my throat is now gone.
Mitch
And
Moses is definitely a sell if you've still got him too. He's just stinking it up at the moment as well.
I didn't even mention that because I thought anybody who did own him would have gotten rid of him.
Yeah, well, I would have thought so too, but I know that there's people out there that still have him.
Watto has just come into the convo. He says that McLean is his pod. Cheering. Bloody oath, mate. That's a great pod. And he always did have the capacity to go this well this year. There's no doubt in that.
I think that's his first decent score in a while. He's put out a couple of 30 and a 40 or something in amongst that too. So he hasn't been scoring that great. But, that certainly made up for it.
Yeah, you'll get a few price rises for a few weeks now out of that one. The Cowboys versus the Storm. This was another upset. Nobody would have tipped this one, I don't think. 28 points to 24 for the Storm, which are fairly hot. Some of these players are fairly highly owned. Warbrick, 135. Hughes, 105. There are quite a few people were jumping on Hughes over the last couple of weeks. 93 to Fayalogo. He just keeps scoring. Harry Grant, 73 with a try. Yeah, bit funny that one. Joe Chan, thank you very much. Again, Joe, to keep your points rolling up there at 57. We'll take that. For the Cowboys, Billy Burns, 110. Drinkwater, Drinky owners, Relish with 93 points. Helam Lukey, 78 points. Thank you very much. We'll bank that. And Jackson Purdue, 68 points. Anything there, Rossco?
Not really. I mean, I'm a pretty happy owner with owning Lukey and also Purdue. But yeah, there's not really much else there. You know, those who are held Drinky have done well. Obviously, dropped a lot of cash with him, but he's doing a job. I was surprised to see how many people I've seen. How many people I've seen? Will Warbrick is in. Had quite a few head-to-head matchups this week that actually people have Warbrick. I didn't think he was that popular, to be honest with you. And then Stefano, I traded him in this week. Pretty average, 49 points, considering he's averaging over 60 points, you know, for every other game so far. But it is what it is. But there's other than that, it's pretty much it. There's not really much else to talk about. I mean, I'm just hoping that Tom Chester gets his spot back this week as well, because I've still got him in my team, like most others have.
Stefano's minutes were affected by a possible injury. He went off the field for a considerable time. And then they strangely brought him back towards the end of the game, I guess, thinking it might have made a difference. So
Right.
You'll have to keep a watch out for that one. But, yeah, he was very injury affected.
Yeah.
All right. So the first of the Sunday games there, Ross.
Another upset for the weekend. Raiders 22, Sharks 34. I got Sasagi with a 97, Savage with an 85, Tamale with an 84, Hudson Young with a 79, and then we go down to Noah Martin with a 62. And for the Sharks, Hines doing Hines things got 100. Braden Trindle, for those who jumped on him a couple of weeks ago, with a 95. Kennedy with an 80, and Iro with a 65. As we've just lost Brad, unfortunately. Hopefully he's all right. Couple of ones to keep an eye on for this game. I think the potential, definitely Sasagi's one who interests me. He's been really fantastic so far this season, pumping out some really good scores. Got the dual position, centre wing, second row and centre wing at 528, 600 with a break even at 24. I think this is probably the last week to jump on him. Hudson Young's another one to probably keep an eye on, and Euro with a 65 with a try is obviously a bit of a concern as well. But yeah, no, Sharks pretty much dominated this match, and well done to them. What do you think? Sorry, Brady, you're good?
Oh yeah, that's what you call witnessing an asthma attack happening live on Facebook.
You're right.
Sorry, guys, about that. And
you're all good. We're all having our internet problems and whatever else. It's just this pod's going fantastic tonight, isn't it? It's going gangbusters.
But I'm all good now. All right. Yep.
Another one who kind of interests me a bit as well is Tamale as well, Brad. He's just under 600K, but he's starting to put a couple of decent scores together now.
Yeah. It's very hard to read there at the Raiders. Because both sides of the field they don't favour one side over the other. So it is, Savage will get equal sort of share of the ball over to Marley. So one is not getting more favourable treatment than the other. And I think you were mentioning Sasagi there at the top. I mean, he will be the most traded in player this week.
Yeah.
There's no doubt in that. I think he's still got BE of 24. But that means you've only probably got about 2 more price rises in him till he possibly hits his ceiling.
Yeah. But I'll tell you what, though, like I own him in a couple of drafts, and I'll tell you what, he's putting together some decent scores, and not without much attacking stats either. He's got 72, 84, 50, and 97. That's pretty decent, right? To be honest with you, that really is. And if you actually have a look at his numbers so far, in those 4 games so far, he's had 2 try assists, and that's it.
Yeah.
Right? And obviously, as Jared just said, that Tomoko's been told he can look elsewhere as well, which is quite funny because 2 weeks ago, Ricky came out and said at the press conference that Tomoko will eventually get that spot back, but it doesn't seem to be the case now, I don't think. I think that's pretty much shot in the foot. I am seeing Noah Martin being traded out as well, Brad. He's not in the top 10, but he's quite high on the list. I'm not sure why people would be getting rid of him.
No idea. Not unless maybe they're moving up to Sasagi. I don't know. He's only got a BE of 19, so again, he's got about another 2 weeks worth of expected price rises, you would think, until he starts to sort of peak.
Just quickly, Braden Trindle, I'm seeing him on the top 10 list as most traded in again. Just don't do it. I don't think we have to keep going on about this, because the game after he turned up last time, he then went to get a score of 22. He's got a 95 here, and all of a sudden people are jumping on him. I don't get it, Brad, at all.
Look, he's an incredibly risky player to own. Look, if you happen to own him and you catch him on one of these good weeks, good on you. Look, and it's so frustrating as I enjoy watching the Sharks play. Now, Nico owns the right, Trindle owns the left. That's basically the way they play it. And when they get it together nicely, it's a beautiful thing to watch. They really do. And that's what they did to Canberra. I mean, Trindle there was just bombing with really nice precision, the left-hand side. And Nico was running the ball really well, taking it to the line and just finding some nice holes for forwards to run off. And when it's done right, it works really well. But when it doesn't work right, Trindle drops his head a little bit and he'll end up throwing you a score of 22. That's what he will do.
Yep.
Now a few more dropping. I've got quite a few watching tonight. Thanks to everybody. Joey has said just wrapped up his recording. And, of course, Timmy has disappeared. Yeah, we don't know where he's gone. To tell you the honest truth, he was here and then he's gone the next minute. But he is having internet issues there, Joey. Shauno says, "G'day, lads. Green Arrows this week. And pretty happy. Lost all 3 head-to-head. 2 hours, less than 30 points. With 1, 2, 4, 5. That is unlucky. That's not such a bad score. What to see from Cleary to Faya Logo. I think Ross knows how you feel there.
Did the same thing, Sean. I know exactly how you feel, and it ended up costing me one of my head-to-heads. I won 6 out of 7, and the one I lost by was less than 10 points. So obviously, kept seeing these score changes. Like Euro went yesterday from 70 down to 68, and then I woke up this morning, he was on 65. Fayalogo lost points. There was a couple other ones here and there that lost points, which came back to bite me in the end. Kinney lost a couple as well. So I feel you, Sean. Don't worry about that.
All right, you want to run us through the last game, Ross? I won't cough my way through it, but and apologies, Mike, but we're definitely going to mention the Dragons here, mate.
Yeah, Titans 22, Dragons 14. I don't know how I managed to do this, but I actually tipped the Titans in this game when I checked my tips. I don't know what made me think to tip them, but I did. Sorry about that, Mike. But Aram Howe, 116 points, just absolute killed at this game. Jaden Campbell, another massive score from him. Back from his injury with a 97. Then it goes to Sammy with a 64 and Kenny with a 55. On the other side, Hamish Stewart, 85. Wow, what a game he had. Like, I picked him up in a couple of drafts because I was a bit short on forwards with all the outs last week with all the carnage. He played pretty decent minutes there. Good PPM for him as well, so it's good for him. Good for owners if you've got him. Val Holmes with a 75, Cook with a 74. Jaden Sewer with a bit of a lower game with a 66, but in base, so it's not too bad. But, man, around the Howe, far out, Brad. Like, oh, my God. Here we were sitting here last week thinking, I've got to play him. He's probably just going to get me a 50 and I'll be happy with that. And he comes out and does that.
No, he certainly made but that's a funny thing is a lot of it wasn't really down to a decision to if or not you were going to play him. Most people had to play him.
Yeah.
With all the problems around the front row area. Look, we're very happy for it. Minus 42 break even now. Wow, that's he should be fairly heavily popular.
He's in the top 10 most traded in.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's quite high up.
Yeah, there's no surprise. Look, and you mentioned Hamish Stewart, massive PPM there of about 1.5. He got those points, those 85, just about all in base and coming off the bench, right? So he didn't start the match, came off the bench. Yeah. 85 points for around about 30-odd minutes, I think. I just had to
I think he played more than that. I think he played about 50 minutes. Yeah.
But still a massive PPM. Yeah, 30 would put him above 2 PPM. But, yeah, he was about 1.5. I did check up on that earlier. So, yeah, great work to the owners of Stewart. If I know a lot of people were going to start with him in the beginning of the year.
Yep.
So Atkinson and Fayamani are both pretty well owned, mate. They seem to stink.
Yeah, Fayamani's one doing my head in at the moment. You just can't do anything with him. I mean, I think you might as well hang on to him for now until you can get him up to someone else. I mean, I think he's still got a lowish break even. 25 is his break even. But unfortunately, he's not going to really make you any cash. So it's going to be very hard to get him up to someone else, let's be honest. I mean, unless you want to fork out the extra 60K or whatever it was that we said to go up to Leilui. What's his name? Luke Leilui, or what his name is from the Tigers, maybe. But yeah, geez, he's been awful. He's just not only that, but he's not getting any ball either. But Titans, no offense, I know Mike's on listening, but our average this game, like they just kept peppering Kinney with the bloody high balls, and he just kept dropping them like no tomorrow. He was terrible under the high ball. And I can't wait to get rid of him out of my team this week because I just can't have him there any longer.
Now, what I said that he got Chan instead of we pronounce it How, but it's actually pronounced. He sent out a press release. He wants his name pronounced Ho, so we have to remember that. He got Chan instead of Ho. At least Chan will still make good coin. Gus to Ho this week though. Yeah, yep. Mate. I will mention, look, he's probably got about 3 good weeks worth of price rises in him. If he makes 3 weeks still as a starting forward at the team, I would then probably sell, and I will be selling. I don't think he's a long-termer for your team. The reason I say this is that there are other forwards there that are certainly a lot better defensively than what he is. He is a bit of a defensive nightmare. He's still learning the defensive vagrancies of the game. I don't think he's hold on to him while we can and get whatever money we can out of him, but he's certainly not a long termer. Where Chan could well be staying in your team all year. He'll cover you all through Origin. I could see Chan being long term, but certainly Ho is not.
Yeah. Well, I don't have Chan. He's just one that I missed out on, but well done to those that said who got on. But yeah, look. Anyway, that's them's the breaks, but yeah. That's pretty much it, isn't it, Brad? Is there anyone else you want to talk about before we wrap it up? Or
A couple more things, comments coming through. Outside of Supercoach, was very disappointed with Tino whinging at the ref when Flano was knocked out. Look, I'm not a Tino fan because he's a Queenslander, but I'm just not a Tino fan.
Yeah.
That's about par for course for Tino. Mike, what do you expect? But apart from, no, in all seriousness, for his Supercoach score, God, if you still own him and you think that he's going to come good, he's not. He's bad. He's bad, poison bad. What did he get this week? 42 points or something?
Yeah, another low, hardly any minutes again. Just terrible. 44 points he got. Not great at all.
No. Now, Mike has said Keeney to Dylan Edwards. I don't mind it, mate. Keeney's got to go this week. He is certainly.
Yeah, he has to.
You agree with that one, Ross? Keeney to go?
Either to him or the Turbo.
Yeah.
Dylan Edwards didn't have a great game last game, but he didn't really have to do anything. But I think he only got about 40 points or something. It might have been last game, was it? What did he get? 39 he got last game. So I don't hate it at all, to be honest with you. But see how he goes against the Storm, who are leaking a few points at the moment too.
I don't hate it, but most teams, not unless you've boxed yourself in a corner, but most teams have Keeney or would have, because we all had to get Fayalogo in to get the prices.
And Walsh.
You've got a premium like Walsh there.
Yeah.
So you've probably got about 3 fullbacks there. If you can utilise that flex to get in Sasego, Cleary, there's a bunch of others we've been talking about. But there's a couple of ones that are really, I wouldn't knock any of those either. Yeah. I don't think Edwards is necessarily look, I can't knock it, but it's a hard matchup against Melbourne. Very defensive team. And if you have a look at the Supercoach scores versus Melbourne, they're never that great. So I'd be very wary bringing in a Panther this week, although I'm bringing in Cleary. But yeah, that would be one. Timmy gone again, like Manly's final hopes. Yeah, Joey All right. For those on Spotify, I had a digit in the air to that question. Teddy, a hold or a trade to Walsh? Let me just have a look at him.
They got the bye this week, but then they got a decent draw after that, to be honest with you, the Roosters. But that's a tough one, Jared. The Roosters don't look. Joey's on here. He's probably listening to this. Roosters just don't look good at the moment, do they, Brad? I mean, you're going to want Walsh, aren't you, for that run that they've got coming up? They've got the Titans this week, then they go Cowboys and the Tigers. I'd be nearly tempted to sell him, and if he does start to go score well, maybe get him back when he drops in price a bit more, because I don't know what his break even is, but I'm pretty sure it's quite big. Is it? Teddy's break even this week? Have you by any chance?
He's got a break even 132, mate. So
how much?
At a break even 132, you definitely probably should sell or consider selling.
Well, you won't lose your cash this week because they're on a buy, but I think you're going to want Walsh, Jared. I'd be getting
the other one, what I would suggestion there to utilise the flex. Oh shit! Sorry, Ross. I was talking over you. I thought you'd stop. I was just going to say that idea of using the flex, I do like it, and I'll tell you why.
No, you're right. I wasn't saying no. You're all good.
Oh, just buff it out. It's our old internet gremlins again. Penrith, next week, of course, they have Melbourne. Then they have the Bulldogs, 2 very defensive, dominant games. But then, listen to this, Dolphins, Newcastle, Manly, Canberra, St. George. I want a piece of that. I want Cleary, and I want a piece of that. So if you can get a Cleary down into your flex position, I'm definitely not against that one either, because that is a run that you possibly want to have a piece of.
Well, he's already got Cleary, he said, so that's, yeah.
No, Teddy or to Walsh or one of the gun halfbacks through the flex. Already own Cleary. All right,
yeah. Yeah,
so
I'll be going
ignore
for
my
Walsh. I
rant.
think I'll be going for Walsh then for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a Walsh one there. Certainly going to give you better than Teddy. And yeah, with that BE, you do want to sell, I'm afraid. All right. Any more questions out there from anybody? I think that's about it for tonight. Sorry about our internet problems. Sorry about my coughing attack halfway through. As I said, the joys of doing it live. You get to see me have an asthma attack live on live on stream. I'm not the first though, so that's all right. Ross, anything else?
Yeah, just quickly before we wrap up, just quickly go through some of our overall leaders. Tracking ones that are going great at the moment. We've got Karen, who's the coach of Special Ks. She's sitting in 34th overall. Well done to Karen. Jared, coach of You What Mate, he's 21st overall. And then we've also got David London, Mr. Biggest Dickus himself, sitting in 293rd overall. So well done to those guys. Absolutely killing it. Our highest score this week was Lenny, coach Lenny's Legends with a 1477. Shane Hughes, Jimmy Bundaberg. So well done to those guys.
No, very good there. Very good. Now, I know in my seeded off the bench seeded league, number 8, our league ranking is actually 1,405 with an average of 1,232. So not a bad going there. How's yours one going, Ross?
No, actually, the seeded 5 that I'm running is actually leading the seeded leagues at the moment. We're at 209th with a league at 1256.
Yeah, that's very good. Very good stuff.
Yeah.
So our seeded leagues are certainly very competitive out there, which is great. Great to see.
Just to remind before we wrap up too, Brad, that the overall league for the closes this round. This is your last chance to jump into the overall league. Codes are on the page. Go check it out. Same with the Broncos one, and the tipping comp is obviously still running through. All with rings to be well. Thank you again to the guys at Supercoach Championship Rings donating those. If you are looking for one, go and check them out at supercoachrings.com.au. And there's the code at the bottom of the screen. I don't know if that's the right code, is it?
That doesn't look like the right code to me. I'll quickly remove that because
it's on our page, so just go there and check it out. There you go.
There it is, 781518. That's the right code there. Sorry about that, folks. That was last chance to get into it this weekend because we will be closing it off as well as the Broncos one. And, of course, tipping. But my tipping is that bad that you don't want to know where I'm coming in that comp. Terrible.
I'm doing much better than you, to be honest.
All right. Don't forget to keep a watch of all the socials for all the latest up-to-date news. Rossco will have more news on the team list twist tomorrow. So do keep a watch out for that. And we do appreciate Ross putting that up there because it's a good brief analysis of the team lists that come out. Anything else there, team? Ross?
No, that's it. No TLT pod tomorrow, guys. Sorry, but we won't be able to get one out tomorrow. So we'll do an article regarding that. Apologies. But other than that, we'll be back next week on Monday night because obviously Easter. So we've got the Easter Monday game. So we should be back hopefully in a reasonable time then. And then we go back to some sort of normality because it then goes back to the Sunday games of 2 and 4 p.m. No more of this 6:15 Sunday rubbish games, thank goodness. So that's it for me. Thank you, everyone, and we'll see you next Monday.
No, see you next Monday if we're all sober. And if Timmy's internet works, we'll see you then.
Stay safe and be good, as Timmy would say. Bye.